lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people. You wish that families starve while you're making $27 fucking million a year for creating nothing. Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful. Because that's the kind of shit that stirs shit up. Peace out.
You know, when I first heard about the actor strike, I was a little nervous, but now that Ron Perlman is directly threatening Bob Iger, I think this thing will come to an end relatively quickly. We're going to talk about that today. I want to go a little more in-depth into this whole actor strike on top of the writer strike that started back in May. Talk about the effects on 2023 and 2024 for the box office. I know there's been a lot said about that, you know, everything's already lined up for the movie theaters going forward, but I think it's important that we look at every aspect of this, especially those of us who are still in holding AMC. I'll give you guys an update on my travels, the road trip so far. Some of you may know I was down in Wilmington, Delaware last week for the court hearing. I've been up in Philadelphia for the past week or so covering the Kensington area. And I will give you guys an update where I'm headed next when we come back from the intro. But before we do any of that and get way too far ahead of ourselves,
cue the speeder.
This is the way.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Guys, what's going on? It is Monday, July 17th, 2023, and by the time you see this, I will be well on my way to my next destination on the train. I am heading to the south side of Chicago and Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, so far, I've been kind of up and down the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, and I've seen a lot of despair and depravity. For all of you right now out there who might be thinking things can't get any worse than they are right now, make sure you stay till the end of the video. But there's a lot I want to get into, especially with the box office, the writer's strike, what is going on with Disney, the whole Snow White picture release, a bunch I want to talk about. So let's jump right into it.
Turning now to the actors and writers strikes, and the last time both groups were on the picket line at the same time was back in the 1960s when this man was leading the Screen Actors Guild.
The master of ceremonies is Ronald Reagan, president of the Screen Actors Guild.
The motion picture industry in Hollywood is a very fine community, but it's only part of a greater community, a fast-growing city, one of the great cities of the world.
Well, now members of SAG-AFTRA, which represents thousands of actors, will join writers on the picket lines today, marking the first joint strike in over 60 years.
So it seems to be the main sticking point right now with the actors is the fact that studios are trying to use their likeness, get a recording of it digitally, and then be able to use that in perpetuity without the actor's permission and without having to pay them except for the one day they need to be in the studio in order to have that likeliness captured.
In response, the Producers Alliance put out a statement outlining its offer, saying the deal featured historic pay and residual increases and a groundbreaking AI proposal, adding the union has regrettably chosen a path that will lead to financial hardship for countless thousands of people who depend on the industry. Disney CEO Bob Iger on CNBC says the strike will hurt an industry that's still recovering from the pandemic.
I think it's very disturbing to me. There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic.
The actors now join writers who've been striking since May.
Now, some of you may remember that when the announcement was made earlier this year that Bob Iger would be returning to the Mouse House as the once again CEO of Disney, there was a lot of praise from Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC Entertainment, about his return and bringing Disney back to the company it once was. Now, if you guys remember at the time, I had said I was not as enthusiastic as AA is because Bob Iger was the one who was in the position of power when these strategies were first implemented, as far as the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all of the race swapping of the characters in the Disney films. And as we can see, this is about to happen once again with Snow White, the latest pictures coming out. And as soon as these pictures dropped onto the internet, they got absolutely ratioed. And so Disney went on and tried to do damage control and say that they weren't official pictures from the Walt Disney Corporation, but these are actually pictures from the set. The 7 dwarfs have now been transformed into 6 normal-sized human beings and the 1 token dwarf. Many different ethnicities, and it looks like also genders or sexes, whatever they're calling it these days. Along with the guy at the very back with the headscarf. I have no idea what's going on there. But look, the fact of the matter is Disney has lost $900 million on the last 8 productions they have put out. That is a problem for the movie industry, for Disney, and for AMC. And look, this isn't fun talking about these things, but it is important. There are hundreds of millions of dollars at risk here with everyone who is still in the AMC play. And maybe if you're a Disney shareholder or CINEMARK or whatever it is that you're holding stock in right now, this is a major problem that needs to be fixed. And until they wake up, the people up in the C-suite, the directors, the producers, and the actors themselves, we could be looking at a tumultuous future in 2024 and 2025 for the theater and box office industry. And I know that's a long way off for some of us, but if you are planning on holding this, I want everyone to be aware of that and understand what's going on. And I know there's a lot of excitement because in the last quarter, we added AMC credit cards and AMC popcorn at all the Walmarts across the country. And that's going to be a nice way to bring in revenue. But when we're talking about the box office, most of their money is coming from the concessions. And if you don't have movies, you don't have concessions. And if you don't have concessions, you don't have a profitable company. And if you're thinking after watching this that it's all doom and gloom, there's no way we can recover, there's no way we can squeeze, I want you to understand that nothing is impossible. And if you don't believe me, watch.
This weekend, and she's just coming by Fondor now in the home stretch, heading into the bell lap.
Gordon falling down, gets up quickly, but that's going to cost her. Lucky she wasn't injured.
Her teammate just went to the front, though, so they may be able to recover from that. And Dornan is flying down the backstretch.
She is catching up.
She is going to catch Fondor, and she may catch the leader.
Wow.
But she's got fun.
This is a gutsy effort by Dornan. Can she pull it off? She's moving to third. Dornan coming down the stretch from the outside. Dornan coming on strong. Dornan all the way. Dornan. Yes, she did it. Wow, unbelievable.
That is amazing. To fall in a 600. I mean, this is basically...
Hopefully that will send you guys off on a good note with this video. It being Monday at all, the beginning of a new strenuous week, I'm sure, for most of us. I am headed out to the train to head to Chicago. If you would like to help with the production of this documentary that I'm making, the link is going to be down in the description for Venmo and Cash App. And of course, that's only if you can afford to do so. There is no one expecting anything from anyone. This is a project that I've been thinking about for a while and working on. But I do appreciate anyone that can help out. And thank you for all the super chatters and the live streams the last couple nights. You guys have been amazing. When I get to Chicago and Kenosha, we'll be up to do a live stream. You have my word on that. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the likes, the views, the comments. My new subscribers, my OGs, I appreciate each and every one of you. We are here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.